Hello, everybody. We'll be starting in a second here. I'm pretty sure I just heard Kirby close his car door. Oh! I literally just went live. I didn't start, but I went live. It's just me and you today.
Did Danielle die?
No, she's in Florida doing that race with her mom. So not yet is the answer.
So it's worse than that.
Yes, she did one.
She's in Florida.
She did one race, and she has another one coming up tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Comanche. That's great. You're always a great help. All right, go get out. Let's do this. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Go Nintendo Podcast.
Webisode 706.
Oh yeah.
The Goodra Podcast.
The Gootra.
Give me that Gootra.
It's the Gootra.
Goodra is a dragon-type pseudo-legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 6.
This is that monster that fights Godzilla, right?
That's right, Goodra. Yeah. Yes, Goodra's going to be in the next Godzilla movie. It evolves from Sliggoo, starting at level 50. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, hey.
Goodra is a pudgy bipedal dragon-type Pokemon that is coated and dripping with goo.
Oh no!
I've heard about this on the internet before. I think there's a fetish around.
I'm glad Lube isn't here.
Yeah, right. Its ventral portion is mauve, while its dorsal side is lavender.
I'm sorry, it's what?
Mauve. Mauve.
Mud.
It has bright green eyes and 2 green spots on either side of its face and 3 on either side of its thick tail, which curls inward. Goodra have 2 sets of antennae atop their head and are capable of retracting. The front pair of antennae are short, skinny, and stand upright, while the back pair are long, thick, drooping downward behind its head and curling upward towards their tapering ends. Sorry. They are very dexterous and can be used for grabbing onto things and can be extended to almost 3 times Goodra's height, as seen in the anime. A pale green slime drips from Goodra's chin and arms. This is disgusting.
Yeah, I thought the last one was disgusting, but man.
Goodra is capable of throwing very strong punches. It is very affectionate, and when it hugs its trainer, it leaves them covered in goo. Goodra is easily overcome by loneliness, though, and oozes gooey tears when left to itself.
Good Lord.
Although it gets teased because of its meek nature, it fights back with powerful horn and tail attacks. Its slimy skin and thick, fat layer allows it to brush off enemy attacks with ease.
Please tell me you're done.
I am done. It's a dragon type.
It's a goo type.
It's 6'7", and it is 331 pounds. There you go. That's it.
It's heavier than I thought.
Thanks, not mom brain. Are
you thanking yourself?
Did I do that?
Got any cheese?
Did I do that? I think I did. Hi, everybody. It's just me and Kirby today.
Yeah.
Lube is working. Mom Brain is out running.
Nikki Hill is probably working.
Nikki Hill is working, okay. Yes. He told me last night he couldn't make it. And Mom Brain's out running the race. Hello, Shillelagh and Corgan and Carnictus and Northern Sequence. Hello, Carnictus is saying hi from Ireland, and Rachel and Morisaki and Highland Tom and Giggity213 and Drew and Roth and Fanders and Sarah. And
we have more listeners in Ireland than I realized.
Very, very popular. Very popular. No, I have no idea. And everybody else I didn't say hi to, thanks for joining us. I have a couple things to cover before we get into regular news. First thing, I have a link to share later today for the Waterfield Switch case that we talked about last week. We'll have a special link where you can order it before anybody else can, and it gets you a discount too. So we will post that up on GoNintendo, obviously. We'll post that on Twitter as well, so keep an eye out for that if you're looking for what I think is the fanciest Switch case I've ever seen. I used it last week when I went to a family party, and I very rarely leave the house and very rarely have reason to bring the Switch with me when I do, but I did last week because people want to check out Tetris. So I brought it with me in that case, and that case was absolutely wonderful. I really like it. It's just ridiculously well made, and obviously takes very good care of the Switch. And it's so stylish. Hello, Aloe Wolf. We're great. How are you? So that's that. Link for that coming later today. Thank you to Waterfield for that. Also, we have a contest going on right now that is so easy to enter. And I want you to know that the requirements for this contest were based on what the company we're working with wanted. And I aimed to make them as easy as possible. So I don't think it gets any easier than this. We're giving away 5 copies, and by copies I mean eShop codes, of The Way Remastered on Switch. I loved The Way Remastered. You can check out my video review for it on the site, which I posted quite some time ago because The Way Remastered has been on Switch for a while. Hello, Daniel. But they put out a press release this week because The Way Remastered has managed to move 200,000 copies on the Switch eShop. And the creators of the game are celebrating by doing a giveaway with us. They know I'm a big fan of the game. They saw my video review. We've talked about it. Hello, King Broly. The Way Remastered, for those who don't know, is basically a love letter to games like Out of This World, or as we call it now, Another World.
As we call it...
My Sharuba.
My Sharuba. Oh, I should have that queued up.
As we call it now.
My Sharuba.
And flashback, games like that. It's definitely a love letter to that style of game. So if you're into those type of games, then you should check that out, The Way Remastered. You can obviously buy it right now if you want, or you can try and win a copy. So here's what you have to do to win. You have to follow us on Twitter, GoNintendo Tweet. That's at GoNintendo Tweet. Hello, FNAF. And you have to follow Sanka Games on Twitter. Sanka, yes.
Like the...
Not the coffee?
Yeah, the stuff
it's
that,
a coffee,
that isn't
right?
coffee?
SONKA Games.
SONK.
All one word. SONKA Games. You have to follow both of us. Hello, Freeform.
Sonka.
To be able to enter. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Hello, Sean. I don't care if you unfollow us after this contest. I will not be offended. I'm not looking out for that. I completely get that some people don't use Twitter or think our Twitter is too busy because we're posting so much all the time. I completely get it. But if you want to just click and follow and forget, and then once the contest is over, unfollow, completely fine. But follow both of us, and that's it. That's all you got to do. You got to sit back and wait. You have until February 29th to follow. So you have literally until February 9th to click 2 buttons on Twitter.
So yeah, I still don't have a Twitter account. Am I missing
eligible.
anything?
You mean like, as far as the Twitter experience goes?
Yeah. How great is the Twitter experience right now?
Twitter is definitely the best way to have a chance at contacting
a celebrity,
whoever it may be. It's like the best chance at a direct connection for anybody that isn't in your circle of friends or family.
You gotta add them.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy that stuff. But it's the internet, so it's also bad too. So yes, please follow those, me and Sanka, and after February 29th, probably the day after, we will pick 5 winners. And it doesn't matter, well, really, it doesn't matter at all where you live, because no matter where you are, you can set up an eShop account that will let you download these this winning code. But we have codes for North America and Europe. Hello, Mark D. Payne. So yeah, you can utilize the code no matter where you live. You just have to have the right eShop account. But again, if you wanted to know, we have North American and European codes. We will pick the winners, and we will DM you on Twitter to let you know that you won.
We will at you.
So you say don't at me, we will at you.
We're totally going to at you.
So best of luck to all those who enter. Like I said, what words do I recommend muting? I don't mute anything. I don't mute anything. And I don't block anyone because like I disagree with what they're saying or anything like that.
There's got to be somebody.
Well, I mean,
I refuse to believe
this is perfect and not perfect to lead into another discussion that I wasn't sure if I was going to have. First off, on Twitter, the only thing I block is like bots that somehow are like, free gift codes and stuff like that. I'll block those. Mark D. Payne, I saw your 3 questions.
Block those on your website.
Mark D. Payne, I think Pokemon Generation 8 will be officially revealed, I don't know, within a month's time. Hello, Nico. And no Nikki today. Yeah, so that's all that I block on Twitter. But I'm going to talk about this. It's not something fun to talk about. It's a serious topic. I'm being dead serious. So please, Kirby, don't play any soundboard stuff during this. Hello, Stefan. And it relates to blocking someone on Twitter. I'm not going to get into the specifics of people. You can find that stuff out if you want to. Unfortunately, yesterday, or I should say today, it was earlier today, like 4 in the morning, I found out that someone that we have worked with in the past and someone that I've worked with multiple times ended up being, let's say, an abusive person. And they were abusing their significant other. And the significant other has come out with a whole blog of all the stuff that happened and, evidence as far as pictures and recordings and filings with police and all that stuff. So it was an absolute shock to me because I did not. I have worked with this person for years on a couple different projects. I met them in person maybe 3 or 4 times. And we were actually going to work again on something in the upcoming weeks, but it's completely over. I've completely cut ties with them. They are the first person, as far as I know, that's a regular person that I've blocked on Twitter, which is where this all comes from. But yeah, not a good situation. And unfortunately, one of the things that we worked on featured the person that was being abused. And I have never met that person. I've never met this significant other. I've never talked to them in real life or anything like that. The whole thing was completely shocking. My relationship with this one person, hello, Fred. My relationship with this person was purely through work and only through, I'd say 95% of the time was through email. And, I only had to glimpse into their work side of things. That's what we did. So, yes, I'm not working with them anymore, obviously. It's a very sad situation. But, yeah, that's what it takes to get me to block you on Twitter. So now you know. I'll talk about that more, maybe more openly in the future. It depends on what the other person wants, because I'm talking to the one that was abused about all this stuff because they did something. The person that was abused did something for our site. So in some small part, I wanted to apologize to them because I didn't know what they were going through at the time. And I feel terrible because the thing that they were creating was also involved in at least some small way part of the abuse that was going on. So I reached out to them and said, I know you don't know who I am, blah, 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 blah. So I'm talking to them. Not a fun situation. But now you know. That's what it takes for me to block you on Twitter. So I'll give you guys more details on that as long as they're okay with it. The way I found out was a public blog that they put out there on their own. So it's not like I'm sharing any information that they haven't already. Like I said, I'm not getting into names or anything like that. That's their decision, not mine. But now you know. All right. Serious part. Well, super serious part is over. We might seriously talk about news later, but feel free to use
semi-seriously, yeah.
Feel free to use the soundboard again. So yeah, sorry about getting so serious there, but I was debating on whether I was going to talk about it or not. And you said the Twitter blocking and stuff, and it was too apropos to not talk about it. All right. Anyway,
I understand.
Thanks for coming. This week was a big week in the world of Nintendo as far as rumors go, as far as news goes. All kinds of crazy stuff happened. Rachel, I read your text. I'm sorry, I can't talk about that. So yeah, let's get into the news. Let's talk about what happened this week. All right, so Game Informer. Game Informer's editor, once again, this is the same editor that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Imran Khan, the senior editor over at Game Informer. He's been putting out all kinds of information lately that he's getting from his inside sources. And he's got another one. And last week we talked about him in relation to Mother 3 and that never getting localized and all that. And he went on to talk about something else. He says, let me hint at something, I guess. This is a thing that I'm going to write up at some point as soon as I get some more sources on it. But there's a game that's thought to be dead that Nintendo's reviving, and it's not one that people would expect. It was very much a title that was dead and buried, very officially canceled. So this news came out, everybody's like, oh, what's this game going to be? What could it be? And people all right away were like, it's going to be Project Hammer. It's not Project Hammer. Nintendo, as far as what I've heard.
Is it Disaster Dave Crisis?
No, that came out just in Europe.
Oh, right. Sorry.
And Japan. So as far as we've heard, no, Project Hammer will never see the light of day, at least as it stands right now. I don't know if I made it a top story or not. I'll discuss what the opinion of the game is as of right now. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I can give you some more inside information. Mr. Khan, but before we get to that, Mr. Khan also talked about the Kingdom Hearts franchise because people were wondering, will Kingdom Hearts ever come to the Switch? And he says Kingdom Hearts 3 is not looking likely, but the HD re-releases might be more feasible for the Switch. Nintendo and Square Enix were talking about how they could do Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Switch, but it was deemed unfeasible due to Kingdom Hearts 3 being a very demanding game and not necessarily one you can put on a Switch without paring it down a lot. So, hello, Antonio. Square Enix is unwilling to cut content and change things to the degree that it would take to get it running on Switch. Mr. Khan is unsure of whether the remasters are being actively worked on or not, but he believes that's probably what will happen. So Nintendo will get some Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, and it will be the HD remasters. And it's not like there haven't been Kingdom Hearts games that were exclusive, at least timed exclusives for Nintendo platforms before. There's been portable entries, multiple portable entries that saw release on the DS and the GBA and the 3DS. So, you know, who knows down the road, maybe there could be one for the Switch. You never know. But Kingdom Hearts 3 took a long time to come out, so I'm sure all those involved are very ready to move on to something else. Hello, Joey. Thanks for dropping in. Sean Snock has a top-rated comment that says, previously canceled? Lube, Project Hammer's coming back. Project Hammer is not coming back. So, yeah, I'll just talk about it now because I'm pretty sure... Oh, yeah, it's the next story. So... the rumor that popped up right after this was that the game that Mr. Khan was referring to is Scalebound, and that would be very interesting. Oh, Mark D. Payne has a question. He says, who do you think is better, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, or SpongeBob?
Better? Like better how?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
I like Bugs Bunny.
I think Bugs Bunny is the funniest of the three, funniest personality. I think SpongeBob SquarePants as a cartoon
but
is...
SpongeBob did say, hi, how are you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think SpongeBob SquarePants as a cartoon is funny, but SpongeBob's character, I don't know that I would say is like as funny as Bugs Bunny. SpongeBob is like an annoying guy. Bugs Bunny is like a snarky guy. I'm not saying SpongeBob isn't funny, but I'm just pure humor. I'm going to have to go with Bugs Bunny. And Mickey Mouse I really like a lot. And I especially like the new, quote-unquote, new shorts that they've been doing over the last few years. But...
and, of course, you know...
I put him at
Mickey Mouse probably has, like, the most historical significance.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse is very important. All three of them are great. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough call. I think it boils down to personal taste.
Anyway.
Also, Bugs Bunny is the one who said, I should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
That's right.
So,
and he's also the one that dresses like a woman all the time. And that's extra points for me.
Did you think he was attractive when he dressed up like a girl bunny?
No, but that Lola bunny. Ooh, baby.
Oh, gross.
Scalebound.
I was just kidding you.
Scalebound is supposedly coming to the Switch. So Scalebound is really interesting because it was originally going to come to Xbox One. It was a partnership between Microsoft and Platinum Games. And they showed it off at an E3 and then addressed it again at another E3. Come on, dude. Go over here.
What a dummy.
In this thing.
Can't you see me waving my hand in your face?
Hello, Mikkel. And then it was canceled because apparently things just went awry with the project, and Microsoft and Microsoft and Platinum Games decided to cut their losses. They were like, all right, too much is going on with this that's falling apart. Let's just agree to cancel this project and move on. So apparently, Nintendo and Platinum Games are working together to revive Scalebound. That's supposedly the rumored game. Hello, Video Game Goober. I do want to point this out. Now, I don't know if Mr. Khan's sources are the same as mine, but I promise you that, I'd say like 3 or 4 months ago, I heard this same information from a trusted source, but they asked me not to share it, so I didn't share it. So this is something that I heard about quite some time ago. But, you know, I was told not to share it, and it's still a rumor. I didn't see any evidence of it actually happening, but my source was saying this is going on. So take that for what it's worth. I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I should probably reach out to Mr. Khan and ask him. He probably wouldn't give me his sources, but I can ask him how long ago he heard this rumor to see if the timing lines up and see if he's just coming forth with the information now, but heard the same thing I did months ago. Because if that is the case, then it might be a little bit less believable because he wouldn't have had any new information on it, but perhaps he's learned new things since then. I honestly don't know. Final question from Mark D. Payne. He says, do you think we'll ever get Super Mario 3D World on Switch? Technically, we are, because it's part of Super Mario Maker 2. You get the Super Mario 3D World visuals, landscapes, and cat power-up and all that. So technically, we're getting some of it. Will the full game release? I don't know. I don't know if they'd release both Wii U Mario games again on the Switch. We already had New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe with New Super Luigi U in it. I don't know if they just go all out and do the Super Mario 3D World as well. I like that game a lot. Like I've said before on this podcast, to the anger of many people, I like Super Mario 3D World better than Odyssey. So Gurjit says Scalebound is the new Bayonetta 2. I'm not sure what he means about that. Bayonetta 3 is coming out.
It means there's going to be lots of crotch shots.
Crotch shots,
and
fighting with hair.
Lots of hair suits.
Gun boots, seductive lollipop licking. All the stuff
Lots
you
of
want.
double entendres.
Yes. So there's your rumor. I don't know if you trust Mr. Khan or not. You're welcome, Mark.
Was that really his final question?
He said he had 3 questions.
Okay.
Drew says it's not scalebound, it's hairbound. Where's Mom Brain when you're talking about hair? So I love this kind of stuff. Pokemon fans are freaks, is what I was going to say, in a good way. And whenever they know that like some sort of Pokemon announcement is looming in the near future, they start to overanalyze everything. Are they overanalyzing what I'm about to talk about? I don't know. That's for you to decide. Game Freak's
The answer is yes.
Director Junichi Masuda sent out a tweet, an innocuous tweet on February 14th, 2019. He was playing Pokemon Go. He took a picture of, or a screenshot of him playing, because he caught a Caterpie, I believe. Caterpie is the little guy with the horn on his head.
Oh yeah, he's a little caterpillar.
There you
guy.
go. Hello, Xena.
I know, I don't know my Pokemon too good.
Well,
I know he evolves into Butterfree, right?
That is my understanding. Hello, Santiago. So he posted this screenshot, and that was it. I don't even remember what he said. It's written in Japanese, otherwise I'd tell you right now. But it's something very, innocuous. But fans saw this tweet, and they were like, he's teasing the next Pokemon game. So we know that a new Pokemon game is coming to Switch this year. We know that it's a new mainline game. That's confirmed. But people are saying this tweet with the screenshot is teasing when we're going to see the official reveal. I don't know. Now, I'm not going to say that Mr. Masuda hasn't teased things before, because he has. I just don't know if this is the case. I'll give you the rundown of what people are doing. It's pretty funny. Hello, It's a Trap. Sean, I see your question. Do I think we're going to get Mario Odyssey DLC? I'm surprised we didn't get more than what we got. So maybe. I don't know. Hello, Cam. Oh, no, Caterpie doesn't have a horn, says Cam. Cam says that's Weedle.
Oh, that's right.
God damn it.
It's a good thing he was there to correct you.
We got to start over with the Pokemon and get them right this time. All right, so anyway, here's what's going on in the picture. It would help if you could see the picture, but I'll do my best to explain. Again, it's a Weedle in the picture. And it has the value of 199, which according to the Pokedex, 199 is Slowking. Its weight is 4.16 kilograms, which refers to the 416th Pokedex entry. Oh boy.
Wait, what does Weedle evolve into?
Vespiquen? Hello, Nader Die. I don't know. And so now Pokemon fans are like, with those two numbers there, we can see that the next Pokemon games are going to be called Pokemon King and Queen. I don't know.
Sure.
And the length of the Weedle in this image is 0.33 meters, which might be referring to Nidoran, which is also which is number 33 in a Pokedex. And Nidoran's final evolution is Nido King, another King reference. And then there are 226 candies in the screenshot. And people are saying right there, that refers to a February 26th, 2019 reveal for the games. So
confirmed.
So if this is true, then on February 26th, we're going to get some Pokemon news. Now, here's the other thing. King Zell, who has, hello, Blood Ocean. King Zell, who has very accurately predicted information coming from Nintendo, not only just when directs are going to happen, but what will be in those directs. He's proven that he is he's got inside sources that are on the money. He knows what's up. King Zell has recently said that there will be Pokemon news coming very soon. So whether this tweet from Mr. Masuda is all about teasing that, I don't know. But it seems like we'll be getting at least according to King Zell, we'll be getting some Pokemon news soon.
I feel like we need more Pokemon-related sound bites, because we talk about.
Oh, I could get
almost every show.
That's true. I could get like stuff from the anime. Yeah,
yeah.
Oh man, I'm sure there's a collection of sounds out there. Brock being a pervert and all that.
I was just thinking, like, coughing and
coughing.
No, I play that one all the time.
I'm definitely gonna look. Princess EV9 says Pokemon King and Queen. Y'all, we're going to Africa. We don't know where the next one's going to take place. That could be true for all I know. I got no idea.
Wait, who's going to Africa?
The next Pokemon game.
What? There's no Pokemon in Africa.
Who says?
Because they're not real.
Says? Could be. Hello, Massimo. Could be inspired by Africa. It won't actually be in Africa. It'll be in like. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be like
Africa.
Yeah, like you were saying in the Yokai Watch game, they don't have America. They have BBQ.
It's not USA. It's BBQ.
That still makes me laugh.
I was reading somebody was talking about that on Reddit and how they were so offended.
I'm not offended. It's hilarious.
Yokai Watch 3 is borderline racist with its localization,
it's
making
anti-American
fun of people. It was like bad mouthing the South and or mocking the South and slavery and all this stuff. And I was like, I do not.
First of all, the South deserves
this. It was they were saying like the localization was racist by taking that tone, and I hello Lightning Bro, I don't believe that. I think it's just like they're doing a Southern drawl. That's it.
And first of all, America is not a race.
That is true. Blood Ocean will also wants to say Pokemon X and Y is based off France. So Africa could happen.
Okay.
Yeah, they always base the in-game map and some of the locations off of real life stuff. So
Do they? I didn't even know
who
that.
knows? They do. Yes, that is true. So it could happen. Yes, Africa could be the source for the next one. I don't know. We'll find out. But hello, Gold Bolt. You are late, but you're not that late. It's okay. Thanks for joining us. We have. What is this? Oh, I don't need to do this. We had an early rumor of NPD information, and that turned out to be true. We have full NPD information later. But for now, we're going to talk about Niantic's long-term plans for Pokemon Go. So Pokemon Go is doing pretty well. We talk about it all the time. We talk about the sales records it continues to break and the billions of dollars that it's raked in. Brian says, as an African local, that would be awesome. Oh, no, he doesn't say that. He says an African locale would be awesome.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask, like, what region of Africa is.
Never mind. My fault. Anyway, Niantic's product manager, Matt Sleman. Sleman.
That's not it.
Is
he like a Tim and Eric character?
Yeah, right. He talked about Niantic's future with the game. And he says, in a lot of ways, we think we've hit the point where our original launch trailer promise has been delivered. It's not entirely delivered. We're expecting to have iterations, as we mentioned, with the player versus player launch to the battle system feature to allow people to have ways to compete more effectively or find opponents easier. We expect small iterations to our existing features over time as well. But I think as we move forward, we're going to start to see more features that are less traditional Pokemon features that are just sort of one-to-one moved over with Pokemon Go spin. I think you're going to see more features that are more about really showing what it means to be an AR real-world game, not just a Pokemon game. I think there will be an interesting set of stuff that we have for fans this year, and we're excited to get that out there. Obviously, Pokemon Go has been Niantic's huge hit. So there's no plans to just let the game.
Oh, okay. I thought he was leaving, but he was just turning around.
Right in between the two microphones.
God, what a dick.
There's obviously plans to continue the game and throw in more stuff and just continue with support in general because it's doing really well for him. Steel Diver says, I wish Nintendo treated a franchise like Steel Diver or Pilot Wings half as well as they did Pokemon. Well, Steel Diver especially is a niche title, and Pilot Wings is definitely a niche title or a niche franchise. I love Pilot Wings. I did enjoy Steel Diver a great deal. I don't know if we'll ever see it return, but Pilot Wings I'm sure will be back at some point. But yeah, I mean, Pilot Wings is just very unique. It's not for everybody. It's a very relaxing game, and yeah, it's not fighting bad guys or lots of intense action or anything like that. It's just a really interesting, relaxing, unique experience. So I don't know that Nintendo would ever treat Pilot Wings as they're not going to be like, we have major franchises like Mario, Zelda, and Pilot Wings. They're not going to do that. But didn't Pilot Wings launch? Wasn't Pilot Wings a launch game for 3DS?
If that was a,
I
was actually going to ask about
for Super Nintendo,
the Super Nintendo one.
And the N64. What the hell? It was a launch. Every Pilot Wings game was a launch game.
Was it really? Okay. Because I couldn't remember about the SNES version.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I guess because it's about flying, so launch.
Oh my god!
That's my theory.
It makes perfect sense.
You're on the launch pad.
I was figuring they would do let's do a heavy-hitting franchise like Mario and tie it with something like Pilot Wings, so you have traditional gamers and more expanded audience or casual, because Pilot Wings is certainly more casual. I love Pilot Wings. I do. I really, really like that series. So I've liked all three of those games. But yeah, I don't think. I mean, there you've gotten your proof. They treat the series really well. It's a launch title. What more do you want? All right, you hear it. I hear it. NPD.
What again?
It's time for NPD.
Oh my god, feels like we just did it.
Well, I'm sorry, but that is not correct. Kirby, it's all you this time.
Oh, no.
This is top 20 software for January 2019. We are looking for the top 10. I won't torture you too long, I promise.
Right. Okay. So, Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2 is at number 6.
Okay.
You're on a roll.
Anthem, is Anthem on there yet?
Anthem, no.
Okay.
I think that just came out.
Okay, I have no idea. I'm so out of the loop. Madden.
Madden is number 11.
Oh God. FIFA.
FIFA is number 19.
Jeez.
You're right, Daniel. It does.
NBA 2K.
NBA 2K is number 8.
Finally.
There you go.
I'll
let you do one more, and then I'll start.
Was
hinting.
Can you give me a hint?
Oh, you want hints already? All right. Number 1, Disney. Everything Disney.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 2.
I didn't realize that was out.
Remake of a very old game. Well, not a very old
Resident
game.
Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, yes.
Nice.
Number 3, a re-release of a Wii U game. We just mentioned it like 5 minutes ago. Maybe 10 minutes ago.
The new Super Mario Brothers?
Yes, new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
U Deluxe.
Number 4, Bro.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Number 5, a whole bunch of Nintendo characters.
Oh, Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
I shouldn't have needed a hint for that one.
Then Red Dead. Okay, number 7. This is going to be a tough one.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. It's a series about airplanes. Probably the most popular one. Action-focused series
about
on airplanes. Yes.
Okay.
Dog fighting.
Yeah.
Long-running series.
Yeah, dog fighting. It's not Battlefield, is it?
No. How do I hint? What is another
dogfight like in space or?
The chat knows it. Yes. No, not in space. Here on planet Earth.
Okay. I honestly don't know.
I'm trying to. The first word, there's like no word for me to use to replace it.
I don't know. Let me guess it's something else.
Okay.
Is God of War on there at all?
No. 8, you got NBA 2K19. Number 9 is
Forza. Is Forza on there?
It is not Forza, but it's a racing game.
Oh God.
Hello, Laxter.
The other racing game. What's it called?
This is a long-running racing franchise. It's not like realistic by any means.
Well, I know it's not Burnout because they haven't made a new Burnout in like forever.
Maybe this will help. It's a Nintendo title.
Oh, Mario Kart 8
Yes.
Deluxe.
Yep, and then number 10 is it's another long-running franchise, and this game has been on the charts forever. It originally launched on PS3 and Xbox 360, then re-released for PS4 and Xbox One, also on PC. Like one of the biggest franchises of all time. It's about doing bad stuff.
You said it's from Ubisoft?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay, I don't know why I thought that.
It's about doing bad stuff.
Yeah. Is it GTA 5?
GTA 5. Yes.
Wasn't it like off the charts last time?
It might not have been in the top 10, but
okay.
Now it's back in the top 10.
All right, it's back, baby.
Yeah, Freeform. I was thinking of saying that. He's giving a hint for the one that you haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
So he says
I'm drawing a blank on this dogfighting one.
He's saying the hint I should give for this one is it's a card in the deck fighting and then a number. So a card in the deck of cards, another word for fighting, and then a number.
Oh, well, now I'm thinking of the Iron Maiden song Aces High, which is about dogfighting. Is Aces in the title?
Ace is the first word.
Is it like Ace Combat something?
That's right. Ace Combat 7. Skies Unknown is your number 7 title. All right.
I've never heard of this game, to be honest.
Really? You never heard of the franchise?
Well, Ace Combat sounds like vaguely familiar, but like the full title, I had no idea.
I didn't even know it was. I know it's long running, but I didn't know it was that popular.
I didn't either.
Or so popular that it made the top 10 here. Your top 10 again: Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil 2, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Smash Brothers Ultimate, Red Dead Redemption 2, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, NBA 2K19, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Grand Theft Auto 5. Your 11 through 20: Madden, Tales of Vesperia, Breath of the Wild, Battlefield 5, Super Mario Party, Minecraft, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Marvel's Spider-Man, FIFA 19, and Super Mario Odyssey. We have some other great information about this NPD. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was 30% higher than that of New Super Mario Bros. U, which, remember, once again, was a launch title for the Wii U. So January, the first time we're seeing reported sales for this game, at least in the States, and it beat out the Wii U version. Switch was the only console, or the only platform in general, to show year-on-year sales growth. And the Switch Pro controller was January's best-selling accessory, with dollar sales increasing 40% compared to a year ago. No doubt Smash Brothers is helping that. Also, the Switch was the #1 piece of hardware for January 2019. Oh, no. And there's another tidbit. Where did I write that? I remember it. It doesn't matter. The Switch ended up being the platform with the highest amount of units sold in January for this entire generation. The previous record holder was the PS4. The Switch sold something like 200 and I want to say was 40 or 260,000 units in January, which is a new record for this generation. So an excellent month for Switch. Steel Diver says, it's great to see Tales made it into the Switch top 10, and that's not even counting the chuckleheads who bought it digital. With Switch doing so well, it will be interesting to see if the rumors of a new PlayStation handheld come true. PlayStation has always made the best hardware, and the PSP Vita are no different. I mean, best hardware in terms of what? That's I think that's up for debate. I guess just pure specs, you would say best, yes, but other areas could certainly be debated. Oh, goodbye.
Well, remember what Michael Pachter said about the Vita, or I think it was about the Vita. He said, like, the reason it wasn't selling well is because it was too good. Something like that.
Sounds like a Pachter thing. I remember, I don't remember who at Sony, but I remember someone at Sony when they were bringing out the, I guess it was the PS. I don't remember if they said about the PSP or the Vita.
I get them confused.
But they were talking about how it was going to bring portable gaming out of the gutter. I was like, you son of a bitch. And then I think it was the PSP, because then the DS came out and like destroyed it. I was always like, take that, Sony. But Sony's at least outwardly much nicer nowadays. But they are getting that little bit of a mean streak again lately, which is something that a lot of fans always talk about, how Sony is like, they're like, you know, I guess you would say either in the comic book world a hero and a villain, or in the wrestling world a heel and a face, because they go back and forth from that all the time. They do something, they think they're great. They do something, they think they're the greatest thing ever. They do something, they think they're king of the world, and then they're like, we can do whatever we want. And they start doing crappy stuff, and everybody's like, no. And then they
weren't we joking about how like the new head of the company was like a heel?
Yeah. We're gonna see, or I'm interested to see what he does. It's gonna be very, very interesting, because people are not high up on him at all. Hey, can we like go? Hey, look at this thing. It's a box. Oh my God, you see this? Look at this paper. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, look at this thing. Wow, can you believe it? You can sit in garbage all day. It went right for it. Get in there. Go ahead. Oh yeah,
or just like he seems to like rubbing his face on it too.
I love rubbing my stink on corners. Oh, I got out. What do we got here? Are we gonna do this?
He's got multiple boxes.
He does. They're all over. Anything to keep him away from me.
Well, now he wants to eat the plant.
He does love eating leaves that come in off people's shoes.
Now. Is he gonna be sick?
Yeah, I love how Mom Brain's gone, and he's like, "Let's do things to make me ill." I don't think I'm gonna do that one.
Oh, those leaves made me sick and depressed my head against the wall.
There is a quick feature from Sakurai about some development details with Smash Brothers Ultimate, which you can read at your leisure if you want. But we will move on to some more of the scale-bound discussion. This comes from our friend Liam Robertson, who is the king of researching canceled projects and getting inside information. He is fantastic.
Like Project Hammer?
Yeah, so much research goes into what he puts out there. He is excellent at what he does. So he heard about the Scalebound stuff and he wanted to throw his 2 cents in there. Now, he's not saying Scalebound isn't happening, but here's what he thinks. Project Hammer and Scalebound are unlikely to come back. Project Hammer was a mess, and it caused a lot of damage within the company, so he doesn't think they're going to revisit that at any point. And Platinum has unannounced projects and pitches, but the decision to cancel Scalebound was a mutual one between Platinum and Microsoft, so he doesn't understand why Platinum would be like, hey, that project was a disaster. Let's do it again. And he said one of the biggest reasons the game was canceled is because the tech, which would be Xbox One, could not run their vision for the game. So he doesn't understand how that could be the case. And then they bring it to Switch, which is a less powerful system, but it would have to be scaled down, obviously. No pun intended. But, you know, I don't know what to tell you. This is just what Mr. Robertson says. He also says picking up that project again when many people who worked on it at Platinum have left would go against what Platinum's culture is as a studio. And there is a rumor that Platinum has shelved another major project recently because they couldn't staff it. So he doesn't see how there would be staff for Scalebound, but not this other game. And he said there's no reason for Microsoft to sell Scalebound, as that would do damage to Microsoft because everybody knows the game as, at one time, a Microsoft exclusive. So for Microsoft to come in and be like, hey, yeah, we're cool with that, Nintendo. Let's do a deal. Go ahead. It's yours. Robertson did hear that Nintendo and Microsoft are working on big things together. And that comment right there led to a huge story that popped up shortly thereafter, which we will definitely be discussing in a minute. Cheezus 2. That is Cheezus 2. Well, GoNintendo says rare collection.
Jesus.
Boomhauer. You're Jesus. He says rare collection on Switch, please. It would be nice to have some rare games back on a Nintendo platform. That would be lovely. And it might be possible, which we'll get to a little bit later. Oh, man. So it seems like every week we have a story about how some company in China is ripping off Nintendo, either with character art or just any number, you know, just infringing on intellectual property of Nintendo all the time. Recently, we had like a vitamin company that had a terrible picture of obviously Mario and Yoshi as their like logo for their vitamins. Mario, it was Mario's body, but the face was completely different.
It looked like a baby head.
Yeah, but Yoshi looked exactly the same, just with like 2 antennae.
That kind of weirded me out, to be honest.
And I was like, oh, that's great. That's our Chinese knockoff for the week. Hi, Autumnal Blake. Thanks for popping in while you could. But then things got better. There's a Chinese cartoon called Tortoise Hare Battle, and it has a theme song. And I'm going to play the theme song for you right now. Which I won't play the whole thing, but if you are familiar with Nintendo's recent games, you should probably recognize this theme. You get the idea. It is the lyrics are different, but it is a complete ripoff of Jump Up Superstar, which is basically the theme song to Super Mario Odyssey. This version has a slower pace, but it is exactly the same. Whoop! Note for note. I don't understand why they do this stuff. I guess they just, sure, they get called out on it, but I guess they don't ever suffer any repercussions for it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, why go through the process of...
Well, you probably save a lot of money, like, you know, not having to hire someone to write a theme song.
Well, they credit the song to like 3 different people, the singer and 2 writers, but the writers aren't writing anything.
Yeah. They're probably not even real.
It's just funny that they like went through the trouble of like animating a TV show. So they're drawing, you know, the show, and they skimp out on the song. They're like, yeah, we'll just steal somebody else's song.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to cut corners somewhere, right?
King Broly says, this is why companies should stop investing in China. All your stuff gets stolen. They think they own everything. Well, that sounds like a comment that leads to some angry discussion. I'm not getting into the rest of that. But yes,
China.
This is really hello, Rocky. And Steister. This is a blatant ripoff, no doubt about it. And I'm sure Nintendo will try to do something to squash it. Will it happen? I don't know. I'll make sure I watch every episode of Tortoise Hair Battle from here on out to tell you if they change the song.
Tortoise Hair Battle.
Tortoise Hair Battle. All right, North America, what do we get? We got Pokemon Let's Go demo. We got Trials Rising, the open beta. And the full game comes out on the 26th. Lego Movie 2 video game. I hate that title. The Lego Movie 2 video game. I just hate it. It's such a mouthful of garbage. Gold Bolt. We haven't done that in forever, but maybe today. Maybe today.
What does he want?
He wants the Mario Paint outro music.
Oh, I do too, to be honest. I miss it.
Maybe today's the day. There's also a Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn demo. That's the 3DS version of that game. Also new this week, Alchemic Dungeons DX. Almost There, the platformer. Origami Shadow Edition. Arcade Archives Frontline. That is like mechs, I believe, not a game about the tick medicine for animals. Awesome P got a demo. Car Mechanic Simulator is available. Caterpillar Royale. Daggerhood. Devil Engine. Dungeon Stars. Gigantic Army. All in caps. Hell Warders. I Want to Fly. Mind Ball Play.
I wanna fly sky.
That's our outro song. My Arctic Farm 2018. Pizza Parking.
These titles are great.
Cube 2. Quest for the Golden Duck. I have no idea what that is. Rad Rogers Radical Edition. Raining Coins. Remilore from our friends at Nicholas. Rotating Brave. Oh, it's such a bad localized name that I love. Rotating Brave. God. It's about a guy that's falling down like a tunnel, and he hits enemies by like spinning because he's got a sword by rotating, Bravely. And he is brave. Yes, Rotating Brave. Oh, I love it. Sky Hill. Surfingers. Also available. The Golf.
Oh, that's right, The Golf.
We got it here now. The Golf. Hey, have you played The Golf? The Journey Down Trilogy. The Lost Light of Sisu. Tyr or Tyre. Chains of Valhalla. Warplanes. World War II Dogfight. X-Morph Defense. Humaniki Dream Diary. And that's it. That's your North American releases. So there's a lot in there. And there are some, what I've heard, good to great titles, and then there's other ones I can't speak of, like whatever I said. I don't know.
The Golf.
The Golf.
And Rotating Brave.
WestFX says Hell Warders, Cube 2, and Origami all seem really cool. I would agree with that assessment, my friend. I hope you find them enjoyable if you pick them up. What did our friends in Europe get? Lightning Bro says, Rotating Brave, I'd assume that an alternate translation would have been Spinning Knight or Hero. See, that makes more sense. Spinning Knight. I like that. Europe.
Like N-I-G-H-T?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dream Diarrhea, says Fanders. That is not
That's what I was thinking. Whenever you say the word diary.
Origami. This is Europe. Origami Shadow Edition, Cube 2, King of Fighters 2003. Almost There, the platformer. Blaze Rush, Caterpillar Royale, Crocs World Run. Not the shoe. Not the old character, just something new. Crocs World Run. Daggerhood, Devil Legend, Gigantic Army, Hell Warders, I Want to Fly, My Arctic Farm 2018, Raining Coins, Rotating Brave, Smite, Steins Gate Elite, Trying to Complete Story, Warplanes, World War II Dogfight, X-Morph Defense, and Humaniki Dream Diarrhea. First comment comes from Shillelagh, and he says, I'd probably give Trying 2 the title of the week, or the title of release of the week, even if it's a port. It's a great game. And sure, most of the other games on the list are ports as well. Well, there you go. That's Shillelagh's pick for the week. It's our new feature every week.
Shillelagh's pick of the week.
That's right. We had shocking news that rocked the world this week. and was a trend on Twitter.
No way! I don't believe
Well,
it.
believe it. In April 2019, Nintendo fans will be losing an icon of Nintendo and the industry in general. Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring on April 15th. He says April 15th, 2019 is his last day, believe it or not. He will be kicked to the curb. No, he's retiring of his own volition. He is not going to another company. He made it very clear he wants to spend time with family and just take it easy. He's I think he's like 56.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
He doesn't look that old.
So he will. I got a story about old. I'll tell you in a second. So yeah, he's just kicking back and taking it easy. He will be replaced by Doug Bowser. Doug Bowser is Nintendo's current senior vice president of sales and marketing, but he will then in April be their new president of Nintendo of America. So yeah, Reggie is gone, and with him goes a great lineage of wonderful memes.
Oh yeah, it's the end of an era.
And
to be sure,
all kinds of laughs and humor. There are phrases that Reggie said that turned into memes that were enjoyed by the whole gaming industry, not just Nintendo fans.
My body is ready.
My body is ready.
I'm about kicking ass and taking names, and we're about making videos.
And so many great videos of Reggie and just memes that never died with Nintendo fans because they're just that enjoyable. And one of my favorites that was never really a meme, but I loved it. The GIF of Reggie during an interview where I guess the interviewer was setting up their camera, and they accidentally zoomed in too close on Reggie's mouth, and it just zooms in on his mouth, and it's Reggie smiling. It's so funny to me. I love it. I use it as often as I can on Twitter, and people are always like, why are you using this GIF? I'm like, oh, here it is, number one, right away.
I've probably seen this one. But... oh, no, I don't think I have.
It's so good. I'll hold it up to the camera just so you can see. Just type in Reggie smiling on Google Images and do GIFs. Here. There he is. Camera too close. Love it. There you go. Oh, I love it. So, yes, Reggie is leaving. It is sad. But Mr. Bowser is taking over. And obviously, with a name like Bowser, he has been at Nintendo. We know of him already. But now he's really been propelled into the spotlight.
The jokes write themselves.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about him with the name Bowser, though, yes. The jokes write themselves, and we've already seen the first big meme with Mr. Bowser, which is everybody turning him into Bowsette. So we've started off on the right foot.
Yeah, I feel so bad for him.
That's going to stick with him his whole career, definitely. When I saw, like, the internet couldn't jump on that any sooner. As soon as they saw his name was Bowser, they went right to Bowsette. So there's plenty of funny images that I can share and lewd ones that are also funny
that we cannot share.
Laxter, yes, I do have some Reggie stories, Laxter. I did interview Reggie. I have interviewed Reggie. I sat down with Reggie. I actually hung out with Reggie a few times at E3. When one particular time when I was Nintendo always has a two-tiered booth at E3. The second tier is for press. They have like demo stations set up there for specific games, not everything, but like things that they know the press really want to get hands-on with. Usually they'll offer you a floor tour where they're like, okay, you have an hour, we'll give you a rep, and you go around the booth and you can go right to the front of the line and play whatever you want to play. I hate doing that. I really try to avoid doing that because people are standing in line for like 6 hours to play stuff, and I don't want to be like, oh, sorry, front of the line for me. So if the opportunity comes up for the second tier of the booth, I do that because that's only press. And when I was up there one time, all the Nintendo people are always up there. Like the bigwigs are hanging out up there if they're not doing interviews, or there's usually interview rooms up there. So they come out of the room and just, grab a bite and hang out. And actually, it might have been the last time I was at E3. Reggie was there, and I was waiting for an interview with somebody else. And we just hung out. We're just BS and just, talk about the show in general and the games that they had there and everything. So I've had the pleasure of talking with Reggie a few times. I think I told this on a podcast. back when Twilight Princess was coming out, Nintendo invited me to their headquarters with a whole bunch of other press members, and we played there. And Reggie stopped. Hello, Giant Reggie. Reggie stopped by to say hello to everybody, and that's literally all he did. He stopped in the room and was like, "Hi, everybody," and then like we were all eating breakfast at the time, and he just filled up like 2 plates of breakfast food and left, and that was it. That was the only time.
Didn't he say like?
Reggie.
Didn't he say something like, "Ooh"?
Something about he said something about the breakfast.
Something.
Yeah, something like, "Ooh, this looks good." It was very clear he was only there to get the breakfast. But yes, I've interviewed Reggie, and we also had a feature on the site that was written by Reggie back in 2014, 2013. I don't remember. We were doing. I was very angry because at the time, a handful of sites were doing things that they were features that they called the Week of Hate. And it was articles about how they hate this and they hate that in game industry stuff. Just like, we hate this publisher, we hate this game, we hate this developer, we hate these tropes, all this stuff.
So they were all about EA?
Not then, not at that time. I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
And they were like, I was like, why are we? There's enough hate out there. Why do we have to make a whole week of hate? And then, like after the week was over, one site in particular was like, our week of hate was our highest trafficked week ever. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. So I was like, you know what, I'm
extending it to hate month.
Yeah, right. I'm going to do a week of love, and it turned into 2 weeks of love, where I got interviews with a whole bunch of different people, developers, publishers, celebrities, just and they wrote stuff for the site. It was very cool. Hello, Kim. And there were some pie in the sky people I would have liked to get in there, but believe it or not, Nintendo came to me. They said, we've been reading your features that you've been doing on this Nintendo Week of Love, and Reggie is a big fan, and we want to know if you'd be okay with Reggie writing a post. And I was like, are you kidding me? Of course I would. So Reggie was the one that closed out the whole week, which again ended up being 2 weeks. And that is available on the site. I think if you type in special guest, do a search for special guest on GoNintendo, and it should be one of the first links that comes up. I just cleaned up the article recently because that was the version that we had on the site was the skeleton version from when the site crashed. So the images weren't working and the formatting was all wrong. So I went in and fixed all that stuff and put the image back. So it's been cleaned up in honor of Reggie departing. So if you'd like to check that out, yeah, just do a search for that and you should be able to find it. Very cool. Very, very awesome.
Yeah, I think the only time I saw Reggie in public is when we went into New York City for the 3DS launch in 2011.
Yes, I forgot about that.
And I remember, I'm pretty sure he walked right by me, and I might have like mumbled something, or I honestly don't remember if I like tried to communicate with him or not. I remember him like not smiling at the time, so I don't know if he was like stressed out or what.
Reggie, famous for not smiling. I'm looking for. I thought if you typed in special guest, you found it. Yeah, it is. Okay. So the name of the title is, just in case you don't feel like hunting through it. The title for the article is Week of Nintendo Love with our very special guest, Reggie Fils-Aimé. So if you type in very special guest, it should be the first one. Let me try that. If you do search special guest on the site, it's like it's on the first page of results. Let's do very special guest. God damn it, it's not the first. If you type in very special guest, it's the second article on the site. There you go. That's gonna no mom brain, no music. That is true. So yeah, we are sad to see Reggie go, but it's our duty as Nintendo fans to make fun of Doug Bowser as much as possible. That's what we have to do.
Until he wants to quit.
We have to endear him to the community. Also very interesting, Doug Bowser has had a Twitter account for a while now. I don't know if he's going to keep that when he's president. I don't know if Nintendo proper will allow that. And if they do allow it, I don't know if he'll make it private. And if they don't make it private, I don't know if he'll actually post to it anymore. It's going to be very interesting because if Reggie has a Twitter account, we don't know what it is. And he certainly hello, Mario Mania, certainly wasn't talking about it publicly. So that I'm very interested to see what happens with that. Spectrix on GoNintendo has a top-rated comment, and he says, my body was not ready for this. I'm sorry, my friend. A lot of people feel that way. Yeah, it is like we've said a number of times, an end of an era. 15 years Reggie was at Nintendo, and I believe he was Nintendo of America's president for roughly 13 of those years. So he's given the world so many great things, like, as we say often, the Bigfoot pizza. Here's something really funny. Nintendo of America announced Reggie's departure on Twitter, sent out a special video with Reggie talking to everybody, saying that he's going to miss everybody and thank you for all the support. And it was replied to by The Rock.
Oh, okay.
The Rock was like, I thought I made it. Maybe I didn't make it a top story. I'm going to go find it. I was like, what the hell is The Rock's relation to Reggie? Like, there's never anything that I can think of that Nintendo worked on with The Rock. Like, I can't remember The Rock ever promoting anything specifically for Nintendo. Like, not like John Cena has worked with them a whole bunch of times. Maybe he's just a fan. I said, but maybe they have some mutual friends. Maybe they know each other from somewhere. I don't know. But The Rock said, congrats on such a prolific and epic career, amigo. Way to impact lives, mine included. Thanks for creating fun. Followed by a clap, and a fist bump. Oh, dear Lord.
And the people's elbow.
That'd be great if he cuts a heel promo on Twitter. And what's your name again, sir? It's Reggie. Oh, no.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I am so tempted to reach out to Nintendo and be like, can you tell me what Reggie's relationship is with The Rock? What is going on here? We got more top stories.
Oh, is Giant Reggie in the chat right now?
Giant Reggie was in the chat as of a minute ago. I'm sure he's still there. Can I deliver a message?
No, I was just wondering if he had any comments about the...
Got to change it to Giant Bowser now. Giant Reggie, Giant Reggie, Giant. He was there. I saw it. I mentioned him. All right, anyway. He just couldn't take it. It's done. We did the contest. Okay, so as I said, we have some... oh, Jesus Christ. A friend bought a Switch, and he's saying silly stuff. He took the word of a GameStop employee, which I'm sorry.
Which you should always do.
Giant Reggie says, I'm here. I'm not retiring from GoNintendo. There you go. Following up on our Microsoft rumor and all that stuff. Again, Liam Robertson said Nintendo and Microsoft are working on some big things. And then, boom, the information started to come out about what this is supposedly. And one person was brave enough to put their inside information out there. And then a whole bunch of other outlets were like, yep, we heard it. And I'm not talking about, like Joe Schmo's blog. I'm talking about Eurogamer, Game Informer, stuff like that. So here's the inside scoop. Xbox, or Microsoft, I should say, is bringing their Xbox app to the Switch, which I know sounds crazy, but it really isn't crazy if you've been paying attention to what Microsoft has been saying. They want to put their app on everything possible, every platform, because they want just to get their games out there for everybody to play. They're saying they're not so much focused on buy our hardware, that's the only place you can play our games. They're like, just support us on any platforms, and we'll give you things that'll make we'll give you an app where you can play games, our games at least, where you might necessarily never think they would be. And this app allows Project xCloud and Game Pass support. So Game Pass, you subscribe to, you get access to a whole bunch of new games. And Project xCloud would allow the Switch to stream games that the Switch wouldn't otherwise be able to run. There's certainly, the Xbox One is certainly more powerful than the Switch. And there's just some games that wouldn't work on a Switch. But with this xCloud technology, you'd be able to stream them. Hello, the Namekian Clown. Yeah, and then the other big thing here is, and there's more to talk about this, to talk about in a second, Ori and the Blind Forest is coming to Switch. Ori and the Blind Forest is a perfect fit for Switch. It's a Metroidvania, 2D. It's got like a colorful, cartoonish look to it. It's an excellent game. It would make a perfect fit for Nintendo's audience, so it's not surprising to hear that. Later on in the week, we found out that there was a UK retailer listing for this game, and they showed THQ as the publisher. That all checks out because THQ has been involved with publishing the game on PC, I believe. So all the things are coming together. So Brock on GoNintendo says, not cloud gaming. Come on. Well, not all of it is going to be cloud gaming. Because right here, there are going to be some native ports for the Switch as well. Ori and the Blind Forest would be a native port, meaning developed for the Switch, runs on Switch directly, not streamed to Switch. One of those other games, which is rumored, is Cuphead, another game that would make a lot of sense on Switch. It certainly seems like a game that would need some tweaking to come over to Switch, but could be done. And that Cuphead is along with more than 100 other Xbox games that will be available via Games Pass. And then that includes stuff like Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. They could come to the Switch even as native ports, depending on what they do. Could be older games remastered for the Switch or something like that. So a long time ago, there's a rumor of Cuphead coming to the Switch, and lots of people were like, no, that's not. Hello, Concrete Clouds. That's not happening. But now that rumor comes up again, and it seems very likely. The other thing is Microsoft and Nintendo have a great relationship with each other that's only been getting better with each passing month. That for Christ's sake, you use Xbox Live on the Switch to play Minecraft. So this stuff is not a stretch by any means. And I imagine, wouldn't it be interesting to see a Nintendo Direct or a Nintendo presentation at E3 where like somebody from Microsoft comes out on stage and talks about their partnership with Nintendo? That'd be crazy. But it sounds like that could be happening. Shillelagh says, I hear the developers of Cuphead are working on a sequel. It's called Mugfoot. And he has a picture of a mug that's also a foot.
Oh, nice.
A very ugly foot at that.
It's very hairy.
It's I'm thinking it's a big foot.
Wait, what was the name of the other character from Cuphead?
I don't know.
Wasn't his name like Mug something?
Mug Boy.
Yeah, I think it was. Wait,
Mughead.
I'm going to look it up.
Concrete Clouds, I wanted to read your comment. You say, I listen to your podcast every Monday to make the work day shorter, but stopping in to tell you I appreciate your podcast very much. Thanks, RMC. No, thank you. I was going to tell you, get the hell out of here. You're ruining your Monday routine. But thanks for stopping in and saying hi. And thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate it. What's today, 23rd? Oh, here's our last
Mugman.
Mugman.
Yep.
Morisaki, Nader Dye, Lightning Bro.
Who is
also
Cuphead's brother, apparently?
Cuphead and Mugman. But Mugman has a mug for a head. Or it's really a cup, though, isn't it?
Well, they're basically the same thing.
But I guess. I don't know. I'm not up to speed on my Cuphead family legacy and lineage. I clearly need to go down that rabbit hole, which will lead to Cuphead Rule 34, I'm sure. We have numbers for Nintendo in France. We say this time and time again on the podcast. France loves Nintendo stuff. Nintendo was the what?
I can't say that.
France was the #1 publisher in Nintendo was the #1 publisher in France for 2018.
Give me Cuphead until I'm Cuphead.
There's your picture for the week. Crazy Colonel. Draw that.
Try to keep it clean.
Yeah, right. Somebody's sucking somebody's straw or something like that. That's terrible. So yeah, even though Nintendo didn't have the #1 or the #2 best-selling game in 2018 in France, the amount of titles that they had in or near the top 10 pushed them to be the #1 publisher. Their best-selling title for the year was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which didn't even release in 2018, and it sold another 542,000 units. That was followed by Super Mario Party, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Pokemon Let's Go, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, 1-2 Switch, Minecraft, and FIFA 19. So big love for the Switch in France, and more great things are sure to come. First comment comes from Sean Snokta, and he says, at least they're making money on their way to Doomsville. That's how Nintendo always works. Always one foot in the grave and making money. All right, that's it. That's your top stories. Man, I got a lot of notifications here. What's going on? Kirby. What have you been playing?
I actually did not play anything this week.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So I have nothing to talk about.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody. No, Rami, what have you been playing?
Thank you for asking. What have I been playing? I wanted to play more Apex this week, but I didn't get the chance to, which is unfortunate. Things were busy. But I did have time to play some games that don't require as much time or attention. I played a couple more rounds of Tetris 99, which is wonderful. The Victory Royale still escapes me. Again, my best has been third place overall. I will get that Victory Royale. I've seen people doing some amazing things in that game, so I'm sure the longer I wait, the harder it will be. But I'm going to get in there and try again. I played that. Now, I do this every time. I mean to write a list of things that I played, and I don't, and I'm like, I can just check the Switch app. Then I go onto the Switch app, and I'm like, why can't I just easily see what I played? I guess I can. I'm just not looking in the right place. Okay, so I played... it doesn't show me the name. It's something. Almost There, the platformer. I played Almost There, the platformer, which I actually played for a video. It's a very simplistic platformer in the style of like Super Meat Boy or something like that. But you know, you're just a cube with like a little bandana on, and some of the mechanics are different. The way you maneuver when you're wall jumping and the way you maneuver after a jump off of something are certainly different. And there's like a running mechanic that is different as well. It's fun. It's just, you know, like I said, there's no bells or whistles or anything like that. It's very straightforward. You just run and jump and dodge, and that's about it. So I like it, but I have a lot more to do in that game. And, you know, each level gets, hello, Mother Brain. Each level gets a star rating, 1 to 3 stars, depending on how fast you make it through the level. I also played, and this game came out on Valentine's Day, and I feel like a lot of people don't even know it exists for the Switch, and I'm here to sing its praises. Go play, or at least go check out a trailer for Strikey Sisters on Switch. Bad name, I know. But Strikey Sisters is a really fun game. It's basically... what is it called? I always say it wrong. I want to say Arkanoid. Is that what it's called? Like, you know, Breakout.
Yeah, or Alleyway.
Or Alleyway,
or
yeah.
Bananoid.
Let's see. Arkanoid. Arkanoid. Yeah, it's Arkanoid. Arkanoid, Breakout, Alleyway, like we said. The game where you have a paddle and a whole bunch of bricks, and you hit a ball back and forth and break them.
Yeah, there was a... sorry to interrupt. But
no, go ahead.
There was a version on, like, my family's, like, super old.
Mine too.
Family computer.
Yes.
And it was called Bananoid.
Mine was called Arkanoid. That's crazy. What? That was my first experience with that game. I used to play it all the time. I always thought that game was fun. Like any of those games are fun.
Yeah. It's, you know.
But Strikey Sisters is different. So instead of a paddle, you're a person. You're like a little sister, I guess, who can cast magic spells. So the ball will bounce off of you just like it would in any Breakout clone. But your goal in the level is to not just break all the bricks, but to defeat all the enemies. And each level looks like it's somewhat in the style of like Zelda: A Link to the Past. The visuals are kind of like that, but more detailed. So you're like breaking down the walls of like a castle room or stuff like that. And enemies are walking around and trying to hit you. They come up and swipe at you, or they shoot attacks at you. So you have to dodge those attacks as well. And if the enemies walk up to you, you can swipe at them to attack them. And you can also swipe at the ball to hit it harder, to make it fly in different directions. And you can also do a charged up hit, which makes the ball go faster, or really takes out an enemy quicker. But on top of that, as you break bricks, just like in Alleyway, power-ups will fall down. And if you collect them in this game, they give you spells, and you can cast spells to defeat the enemies or take out more bricks. Like there's a Medusa spell that locks enemies in place to make them easier to hit. There's like a fireball spell. There's one that rains out bombs all over the place. So it's all about, and the game has a world map, so you're making your way across the world map to play through these dungeons and get to the boss and take out the boss. It's really good. It's a lot of fun. The music is really good. I love the visuals. I love the gameplay. And they, on purpose, did... the soundtrack is like sci-fi fantasy, but like that like 90s anime feel to it,
Okay.
like very synthy. And they did it on purpose. And I don't know if all the dialogue is, but there's a good portion of dialogue that's voiced. And they, on purpose, took the approach of that style voice acting for the game, like a 90s style dubbed anime.
So bad.
Where it's, I don't want to say it's bad because they're doing it bad on purpose, but it's like cheesy, but they know they're doing it. It works. The thing that they were trying to do comes across in the game. I really like it.
Okay.
Drew says, I just bought it. It's on sale, 10% off. Game is excellent. Having a ton of fun with it. One of those games that's perfect for pick up and play or sit there and play a long time because you can do one level and the game saves, or you can do a whole bunch. You start off in the world map and there's 4 different directions to go in and you just explore. So much fun. Really, really enjoy that game. If you're into that genre, whatever you want to call it, it's got more than its own fair share of unique features that make it stand out from other Arkanoid clones. So yeah, I very heavily recommend that. Trying to think if I played anything else. I think that's it. I didn't even turn on the PS4 this week. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But that's all I can remember. All right, we are going to do a question. You can send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. That is GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. Man, he's like really up in the tables business today. You can ask about Nintendo. You can ask about video games in general, or you can ask about whatever the hell you want. Today's question comes from, thank you. I see you guys are sending in more questions. We have a good backlog, but more, I always appreciate more. Like I say, the day when we run out of questions is the day when this feature goes away again, but we're good for now. I want you to send in more, but we got a lot. CJ Higgins says, do you think you will ever catch up with the number of podcasts to the number of Pokemon in the Pokedex? I mean, we're getting close, but that's a good question. This damn new Pokemon game is going to come out, so it's going to bump us back by like another 100 or so.
Pokemon King and Queen.
I mean, it's going to be close. After this Pokemon game, I think we might have a chance at it. It could happen. That's our, once we catch up, once there's no more Pokemon, then that means the show's over. So that's it. That's where we end. I will do one more question. Blood Ocean, who is in the chat right now, or was, says, do you think Nintendo will ever go into the VR market, possibly a Virtual Boy 2? New Virtual Boy. Seeing as Nintendo doesn't have the best naming convention, but a VR experience with Nintendo could be fun and interesting. Well, this was sent back. That's a good question. This was sent by. I hope that becomes a regular thing.
I really should start doing that regularly.
This was sent back in June, so obviously that was before, what was it, last week's rumor of the VR came out. So it seems like you're getting your wish. Like I told you, I trust my source because my source has stuff that I can't talk about. But I would say your hopes and dreams and wishes are going to come true soon, my friend. So I am very eager to see what Nintendo can do with VR. And I can't tell you how many people have played VR at my house, PlayStation VR. And they're like, boy, this is awesome. Wouldn't it be cool to see what Nintendo could do? So lots of people, at least in my circle of friends, want to see what Nintendo would do with VR. I don't know if you're going to get the full vision of that through Labo VR, but you'll get some glimpse, some idea. So we shall see. But it would be interesting to see what Nintendo would do with more beefed up VR specs. But I don't know if that will ever happen, but we are going to get something. Thank you for your questions, guys. And also, even though we're not doing music this week, you can send your music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. That is what? gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. And that's it. That's today's show. We're like at an hour 24.
Oh, wow. It's like an old school show.
I know. It worked out pretty well. Well, no music and
yeah.
No Nikki Hill, so things just
flies by. Yeah.
Laxter says, based on the current increase in Pokemon numbers with each game, The last Pokemon Spectacular episode will be in 2027.
Oh no.
Webisode 1149.
I don't
He
know
says
if I'll live that long.
if that's what they keep up the pace like. I don't know if they will, but well, no, we're not. I don't know if we'll ever make it to that episode, but we're going to make it to episode 707 next week. But for this week, we are done. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the after show, which again is only live, only in video form, I should say.
Right.
Where we'll talk about. Hello, Bjorn. I have played PSVR. I'll talk to you about it in the after show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, Bjorn, I'll answer your question. I have played PSVR. I own PSVR. What is my favorite VR game?
PSVR.
What is my favorite VR game? It might be... Oh, I see you mentioning Tetris Effect. I really do like that. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Res, and I really think Res VR is an amazing experience. But Astrobot, I think, might be my favorite. Just to see a platformer in the, VR handled like that is so cool. It was blown away by Astrobot. And also Moss for the same... in the same genre, just a little bit different. You were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, I only played Astrobot or Planet Astrobot for a little bit, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Astrobot is really, really cool. Just cool to see what VR can provide for a very well-established genre. Yes, I played Resident Evil 7 in VR as well. That was great, but scary. I haven't played Doom in VR yet. Doom VFR. No, I haven't played that yet, but I want to. Yeah, I love VR, so I'm excited to see what Nintendo does. I was going to talk about...
Oh, and Beat Saber. You like?
I like Beat Saber a lot, yes. I also want to play that game Harmonix is doing, which they're hoping to bring to PSVR. Starts with an A. I don't remember what it's called. But it's like Beat Saber, and obviously Harmonix does music-based games. It's like Beat Saber in the sense that you're playing to the beat of a song, or along with the melody of a song too. But instead of like swords, you have like two guns, and you're shooting like targets that line up on the screen with the beat of the music. And then there's like other shots that like go in with like drum fills or like I don't remember the name of it. Something with an A. Looks really cool. I was going to talk about, you guys can ask whatever questions you want, but I was going to talk about DC Comics, because I talked about that, I think, last week.
Yeah, you got one right over here.
Mom Brain bought that for her cousin, because that's how her cousin spells her name. Her name isn't Robin Hood, but it's Robin. So she picked that up.
Is she like the Lady Green Arrow or something?
I haven't read it. I don't know anything. All I saw was the cover. I'd buy that for $1. I gotta tell you, not very interested.
Yeah.
But maybe it's good. So yeah, I've been poo-pooing DC Comics, at least the ones I've been reading, because I haven't enjoyed them much. But I don't think I talked about Mr. Miracle.
I think you mentioned.
Oh, I did? Because Mr. Miracle is fantastic. Mr. Miracle is absolutely amazing. I bought the trade for that. So it's all 12 issues in one book. Oh my God, it's so good. So fantastic. And it makes sense because it's written by the guy who did the Vision series that I really liked.
That's appropriate, because they kind of look the same.
Yeah, I didn't know that the same guy wrote them, but I was at the comic book shop and I was getting Mr. Miracle because I heard wonderful things about it. And the guy was at the shop was like, "Oh, I think this is the same guy who did the Vision one you picked up." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he looked it up. And he's like, "Yeah, it's the same guy." I was like, "Oh, now I know this is going to be good." And it was excellent. So that's a great DC thing. Laxter, there are a few services that are like Netflix for comics. Yeah, one of them is on the Switch now, and another one is coming next month, I think. Blood Ocean, we stopped saying, and you can't teach that because that guy that guy got fired from WWE due to rape allegations. But though all allegations, hello Joseph, have been dropped. And apparently the cop said there was no evidence that it actually happened.
All right.
I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully that's the case, because I really did like Enzo Amore, but you know, when the whole rape thing came out, I was like, not really a fan anymore.
I don't want to be a hater, but
yeah. So I don't know. Still iffy on it, but you have to say what's out there. That's the evidence. They say no evidence to show that it actually happened. And the person that originally brought up the claims has dropped all charges and everything. So I don't know. But the other DC thing I've read that I really enjoyed is Batman Damned, which is the start of their new DC Black series of comics.
Oh, yeah.
Black, a line for like adult. It just means they don't censor curse words, or I don't think they censor anything really.
Well, DC's been doing that for a while. I remember they, when I used to like sporadically like buy comics, I remember DC, they said words like hell and,
whoa
and damn.
Whoa!
While Marvel like wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, this has F-bombs and everything underneath.
Okay.
But I want to make the point that DC Black isn't like we're adult now. Like every panel is somebody cursing.
Okay.
That's not the case. That there's a couple F-bombs dropped in there.
When you're done talking, I gotta ask you a Batman question.
Very, very sparingly. So they're not using the adult line in the sense that, like, let's put as many curses and as much violence and nudity as we can. They're not doing that. But it's a very interesting story about Batman. The story is the Joker's dead, and Batman doesn't remember if he did it or not. Something happened to Batman, and he's like, did I actually kill the Joker? Or is the Joker actually really dead? Like, the Joker's body is found on the beach. It got washed up. He's dead. I won't say any more than that, but it's about Batman. And he's to figure it out, he's working with John Constantine, which is really cool, because Constantine can kind of get in Batman's head a little bit just because of the way he is. So it's really good. It's been really interesting. Not as good as Mr. Miracle. That is his name, right? I feel like Mr. Miracle.
You know what Mr. Miracle's real name is?
Oh, Scott Free. I do know that.
Okay.
Mr. Miracle.
I was just testing it.
They talk about it in the book, how it's a terrible name. Basically, they call him Scott Free. They say Scott in the book. They do mention that his name is Scott Free. But hello, El Javelina. Sorry, you're only here for the after show. They say in the book that he, his backstory is he was trying to escape this other planet, or this other dimension.
Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, but the lady that was in charge of keeping him captive would like make fun of him, saying like, you think you thought you got away scot-free, and like laugh at him. So she eventually started calling him Scott Free as his name, and he just kept it because he's like, nobody ever gave me a real name. I never had a name, really. Okay. So that was all I had. It's so good. It's so good. The way it mixes like the craziness of like superheroes and fighting crazy wars with like the mundane day-to-day life of normal people. Like, because Scott lives two lives basically, fighting and killing and all these crazy superpowers, and then like, just living in a small apartment with his wife and like paying bills and working, and like it's just so good. It's so good. But yes, my DC opinion has
you've probably seen this, right?
I have seen that, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just curious.
So yeah, I picked up these two Batman Damned comics because that's all that's out right now, and I really, really enjoy it. Yeah, I've really gotten into comics, so that's my comic talk. By the way, I think I talked about it when I started a comic blog. Yeah, I talked about it, and it's not like a GoNintendo style thing. It's just for my own fun, and there's no set schedule when I post. I try to post once a week, but if you want the link, it's on my Twitter. It's in my Twitter bio. You can go check that out there. And you guys have checked it out, so thank you. But yeah, it's not related to work in any way. Like, it's not. There's no advertising, and I'm not getting money. There's no deals. It's completely separate. Just another hobby I've become passionate about. Blood Ocean says we're doing a little bit of a longer after show today, just because the podcast was shorter, and I'm waiting for it to export. Blood Ocean says, have you all seen the Twitter arguments over Captain Marvel and Shazam because of their name? I mean, that argument has been going on for a while, right? It's Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I don't even know when
Captain Marvel became Shazam.
When they had to like change it. I'm assuming for legal reasons.
Well, I don't think it really matters because we can all agree. Shazam
is a lame character. Yeah.
If you like Shazam, that's completely fine. And I'm open to giving any comic a try. And if somebody was like, Shazam is really good, you got to read Shazam, I would try it. But just personally, from looking at Shazam, I hate it. I think it's because I don't like kids.
That might be, yeah, that makes sense. Actually.
I just hate the idea of a kid. Like, I don't hate the idea of a kid in an adult man's body because I love Big. Like, that's a great movie.
Sure.
Just, you know what else? I know what it is. I figured it out. I don't like kids, and I don't like Superman. And this has a kid, and his superhero Shazam is very much like, just big, like, I'm a powerful man.
Yeah, he's like an even like dumber and more naive version of Superman.
Yes, I think that's what it is.
Remember in the first Injustice game when Superman like murdered him?
I do remember that. That's why it's my favorite game.
We were like, oh my god, that's a little boy he just killed.
Lightning Bro says, hello, why are we alive? Sorry, the show is ending now. Lightning Bro says, Shazam is cool-ish, but Billy Batson is a dork. Well, I don't know who Billy Batson is.
Well, that's the kid who turns into Shazam.
Oh, okay. See, I clearly know nothing about Shazam. I just knew it was a kid. Oh, my God. Billy Batson. Why? Comic book characters have such bad names.
Well, he was created in like the mid-30s or
yeah,
something?
no, I'm not knocking it at all. I completely understand that. And I'm going to end today's show with this comment from Roth because he's named the greatest superhero that we've ever seen. Powdered Toast Man.
Powdered Toast Man.
You know how bad I wanted powdered toast as a kid when seeing that? I guess it'd just be like crumbled up toast with cinnamon. Like, that'd be it.
Yeah, I used to make...
I used to make powdered toast, man.
Well, I made like what they call cinnamon toast.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had that before.
The same.
It's just not the same. I needed to come out of a shaker and form into a piece of bread. All right, guys, that's it. Show is over. Thanks for sticking around for the after show. And we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Play your games. Have some fun. Hang out with friends and family. Relax. You deserve it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.